you, Mr. Chairman. And Mr. Attorney General, I thank you for being here. I know it's been a rather long day for all of us. And I just want to clarify your understanding of your being here today, because there was some confusion, I think, at the beginning. Is it your understanding that you're here under oath? That you're under penalties of perjury as to your testimony?
I'm here to tell the truth, sure.
Okay. So you believe that you're here under oath. Is that your understanding?
I'm not sure I'm technically under oath, but I have an obligation to tell the truth. I didn't
to Congress,
swear
yes,
an oath. I'm here to tell the truth.
Thank you. I hope so. Thank you. Now,
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm going to tell the truth.
I want you to tell the truth because I want to ask you a little bit about your management style.
All right.
You know, it looks as though that you have not really been reading any of the memos that you get on Fast and Furious. In fact, I think that your Chief of Staff, Ken Olson, has testified before the Senate Judiciary Committee that he also did not read the memos sent to your attention regarding Fast and Furious. And I'm just curious, why would that be? You learn about this operation sometime after the first of the year, this year, and yet it's been going on for a year. You're the #1 law enforcement enforcement officer in this country, and you don't know what's going on. That would make me upset if I was in your position. Does it not you?
Well, you got to understand, these memos that you're talking about are weekly reports that come to the Office of the Attorney General, the Office of the Deputy Attorney General, and they are statements by the various components of what's going on in them. If you look at the very things that we have submitted to Congress that show what actually dealt with Fast and Furious in those weekly reports, they don't indicate anything about these bad tactics.
Okay.
It talks only about Fast and Furious as if...
But somewhere in the line of authority, you're not new to this. You were in the Office of Public Integrity for 12 years?
Section.
Yeah, in Public Integrity Section for 12 years. You were Deputy Attorney General for 3 years. None of this structure is new to you, and yet there's somebody below you, and not your Chief of Staff because he didn't read the memos, but there's somebody who's reading these memos. Why are they not reporting to you?
Because if you read the memos, read them. If you read the memos, you will see, and they're not memos, they're these excerpts. If you read these excerpts about Fast and Furious, all it says is that Fast and Furious essentially is going fine. We're recovering.
But did you know what Fast and Furious was at that time? Did you know that it was akin to Wide Receiver but not the same?
No.
Did you know what Fast and Furious was at all at that time?
No, I didn't know about Fast and Furious until about
shouldn't you have been
February
known?
this year.
Shouldn't you have known?
No, because Fast and Furious is an operation, a regional operation. There are all kinds of operations going on right now in the Justice Department about which I know nothing because of the way in which the Department of Justice is structured. They are
Who specifically would have been reading those memos? Do you know by name who specifically would have been reading?
People on my staff.
Who are their names?
The people whoever had the portfolio for ATF with regard to their weekly memos, NDIC with regard to their weekly memos, those are the people on my staff who would have had that responsibility, making the initial determination as to whether or not there was information contained in those reports that should be brought to my attention.
Would you agree that one of the most fundamental principles of leadership is that you can delegate authority, but you cannot delegate responsibility?
Okay, that sounds about right.
And would you be willing then to say that you are responsible for Fast and Furious operation?
As I said, I am ultimately responsible for everything that happens in the Justice Department.
Do you have any remorse for what happened with Agent Terry?
Of course I do.
And you've spoken to their family. Have you apologized to their family?
I've had contact with the family that I'm not going to go into. The nature of my interaction with them is between me and them, and I will leave to them how they want to, if they want to reveal that. People on my staff, in addition to me, are in constant touch with the Terry family.
But you've not apologized to them, as I understand it.
I will say that I have expressed my feelings to them, and I'm going to leave.
You're the #1 law enforcement officer in this country, and a law enforcement officer has died as a result of a batched operation. Don't you feel some sense of remorse that you ought to apologize to the family?
And I feel great remorse, great regret, and I have expressed this to the Terry family. I'm not going to reveal to you in this setting the nature,
just real briefly,
the nature of the interaction that I've had with the Terry family.
Then let me just ask you something about your opening.
I'm not going to do this in front of the media. I'm not going to do it in front of a congressional.
But you haven't apologized. That's all I wanted to establish. Now, you also testify in your opening statement that, as you state here, that used inflammatory and inappropriate rhetoric about one particular tragedy that occurred near the southwest border in an effort to score political points. Do you feel that somebody is trying to score political points with this incident?
with the Fast and Furious
Yes.
incident? Well, let's just say that some people have not let facts get in the way of...
And you're here with clean hands to say that, correct?
Excuse me?
You're here with clean hands to say that. Because in your opening statement, you also allege, or you assert, that, for example, earlier this year, the majority of House members voted to keep law enforcement in the dark when individuals purchased multiple semi-automatic rifles and shotguns. Mr. Attorney General, it seems to me that you're trying to score as many political points as you're asserting that somebody else has done in this operation, and I find that rather offensive.
What I've said there is factually accurate. I don't have any problem with people, criticizing me or the department as long as what you say is factually based. That's fine. I mean, I understand that. I'm a big guy. I've been in Washington for a long time. The concern I have is where things are thrown at the department, generally, at me personally, that are not factually based. That's where I draw the distinction.
I see my time is up. I yield back.